cars you've ever seen. Mattel's new Hot Wheels. Collect them by themselves or get them in wild new action sets like the drag race action set, the stunt action set, the Hot Curves race action set. Get Mattel's new Hot Wheels, the fastest metal cars you've ever seen.
Hey folks, Dad here with Elevation Diecast Racing. Welcome to the Redline Derby Hot Wheels versus Matchbox for the 41 to 50 weight class. This is the stock race portion of this event. So the track has been cleaned and cleaned twice. Extra good. This modified Mobster Classic is heading your way from Mile High Raceway. As you can see, in the White Lightning lanes are the preliminary rounds to get into the bracket. Quite a few races in this preliminary round. As you can see, there are quite a few spots empty in the bracket. If you have already made it on to the bracket, congratulations. Your spot is secured. The rest will have to race off and fight their way onto the wood. So without any further ado, we have a track temperature of 75 degrees. Staged and ready from Hello Kitty Racing, her Matchbox Dodge Daytona, qualifying 33rd overall for Hello Kitty Racing. She'll be going up against the number 32 qualifier overall, Abby Normal, in his Hot Wheels Dodge Daytona. Mopar versus Mopar, Hot Wheels versus Matchbox, 41 to 50 gram, underway. Whew, Hello Kitty out front, 2088 will be the time to beat. And Hello Kitty will move her way onto the bracket. Next up, staged and ready, qualifying 24th overall in his Matchbox Firebird, is Zizzer Prime, taking on the 41st qualifier overall, Wooly Moppleton, in his Hot Wheels Jeepster. Wow, Firebird 2074 will be the time the Jeep will need to beat. And the 2077 Zizzer Prime moving on to the bracket. Next up in the blocks, staged and ready, qualifying 25th overall from the Stone Ponies Racing. This is Dawson in his Hot Wheels Roadrunner, taking on the 40th qualifier overall from Racel Diecast Racing. This is Sparky Racer in his Matchbox Sedan. Roadrunner 2072 will be the time that coupe needs to beat. Not gonna happen. Hot Wheels taking this one, 2072, moving on to the bracket for the Stone Ponies Racing. Next two up in the blocks, 29th qualifier overall from Oregon Diecast Racing. It's Ragin' Ricky in his Hot Wheels Cobra, taking on the 36th qualifier overall from the D20 Diecast Racing in his Hot Wheels Fairmont. Which Hot Wheels is going to the bracket? Oh man, it's the Cobra. 2071 will be the time that Fairmont needs to get in order to get on the bracket. Closer race this time, but 2079 gives Oregon Diecast a spot on the bracket. Next two up in the blocks, qualifying 20th overall from DXP Diecast Racing. This is his Matchbox Nissan, taking on the IMS Troy Racing in his Hot Wheels Pocket Bikester. Hot Wheels versus Matchbox. And the Matchbox stole this one with a 2069. Will be the time to beat. Matchbox again, 2062, moving DXP onto the bracket. Next two up in the blocks, staged and ready from Finland, the Northern Roads Racing Hot Wheels Suburban, qualifying 21st overall, taking on the 44th qualifier overall from the Boggs Family Racing in his Matchbox Escalade. Another Hot Wheels versus Matchbox. Wow, Suburban taking off. 2067 is the time to beat. Suburban again, 2070, moving Northern Roads onto the bracket. All right, for the last preliminary race to fill up the left side of the bracket, qualifying 28th overall in his Matchbox Escort is Stick Dog Racing, qualifying 28th overall, taking on Racel Diecast Atomic Bob in his Hot Wheels 35 Caddy, qualifying 37th overall. Once again, Hot Wheels versus Matchbox. Good race. 2080 to 99. 2080 is the time to beat. Escort for Matchbox, getting it done. 2074 this time, putting Stick Dog Racing onto the bracket. Starting the second half of the preliminaries to fill up the right side of the bracket, Oregon Diecast Racing, Raging Ricky in his Matchbox Audi Quattro, taking on Stick Dog's Hot Wheels Escalade. Hot Wheels versus Matchbox. Here we go. Who's getting on the bracket? Good race. The Audi out front, 2088 to 05. Audi qualifying 31st overall, and the Escalade qualifying 34th overall. 2088 is the time the Escalade needs to beat, and he won't get it done. The Audi with a 2090 getting onto the bracket. Next two up racing for their spot, qualifying 23rd overall with his Hot Wheels Solaire. It's Milestone Racing, taking on Grizzly Fleece in his Matchbox Texaco Truck Matchbox, qualifying 42 overall. Wow, Solaire took off on the back end. 2076 is the time to beat. And Solaire again, 2076, pretty consistent, moving Milestone onto the bracket. Next two staged and ready, we got DXP Diecast Racing qualifying 26th overall in his Hot Wheels Wind Splitter, taking on the Hot Wheels Corvette from Hello Kitty Diecast, qualifying 39th overall. Hot Wheels Showdown, the Wind Splitter with a 2074. Corvette's going to have to find another gear to catch a 2074. Can she do it? 2068 this time by the Wind Splitter, and DXP getting himself onto the bracket. Next two up in the blocks, one from RC Addicts in his Matchbox GTO, qualifying 30th overall, taking on the Boggs Family Racing in his Hot Wheels Escalade, qualifying 35th overall. Hot Wheels versus Matchbox, very close race, 2094 to 99 for the GTO. 2094 is the time to beat if that Escalade wants to make it onto the bracket, and the GTO with a 2085 this time, moving himself onto the bracket. Next up, another one from Northern Roads Racing, qualifying 19th overall in his 928 Matchbox Porsche, taking on the 46 qualifier overall IMS Troy Racing in his Matchbox Lotus. It's the battle of the Matchbox. And the Porsche just running away with it. 2056. Lotus is going to need a lot of help here. No. 2057 this time. And the Porsche from Northern Roads finding himself onto the bracket. Next two staged and ready. We have qualifying 22nd overall in his Hot Wheels BMW. It's the Chase Family Racing, taking on the 43rd qualifier overall D20 Racing in his Matchbox Chevy van. Woo, BMW taking off. 2064 is the time to beat. BMW 2064 again running steady, moving the Chase Family Racing onto the bracket. And for the last race of this preliminary round, Hot Wheels versus Matchbox, qualifying 27th overall in his Hot Wheels 442 Zizzer Prime Racing, taking on Abby Normal in her Matchbox Infinity. Let's see who takes it out. The 442, wow. Matchbox keeping up. 2075 is the time the Infinity needs 2080, moving the 442 onto the bracket. And that is going to fill out our bracket as we take a look. And over on the right side, I want to thank everybody for entering into this race. We are super excited to run this event and have you participate. And to all of those who did not qualify, they will be trackside to behold this event. And I want to thank each and every one of you. Keep racing, keep testing your cars, and just keep racing. Don't stop. Don't give up. Eventually, they all come off the shelf and start racing. So, let's get to round number 1. All right, here we go with round number 1. Hello Kitty in the inside lane, the number 13 Dodge Daytona, taking on Flips Racing, number 1 qualifier overall. Matchbox versus Matchbox here. Wow. 2043 for Flip. Hello Kitty needs to beat a 2043 to advance. 2041 and Flip moves on to round number 2. Next two up, staged and ready. Qualifying 16th overall in the Haley's Comet Matchbox. It's Poverty Hollow Diecast, taking on the 17th qualifier overall from RC Addicts with his Hot Wheels Richard Petty. It is Hot Wheels versus Matchbox. Here we go. Good race. 2061 to 62. Petty needs to best a 2061 or Scoop is moving on in his Haley's Comet. 2060 takes Scoop from Poverty Hollow to round number 2. Next two staged and ready. Qualifying 25th overall is Dawson in his Hot Wheels. Wait a minute. Qualifying 9th overall in his Matchbox Nissan Turbo. Taking on Zizzer Prime, qualified 24th overall with his Matchbox Laser Wheel Firebird. Nissan getting a 2054 to 69. 2054 is what the Firebird will need. Closer race this time at 2059. Moving Kyle from 131 with his Matchbox on to round number 2. All right, staged and ready for the next race. Poverty Hollow qualifying 8th overall in his Hot Wheels Tri-Baby, taking on Dawson from the Stone Ponies Racing, qualifying 25th overall in his Roadrunner character car. Tri-Baby getting a 2057 to 76. 2057 is the time to beat. And 2051 this time from the Tri-Baby, moving Poverty Hollow to round number 2. And that'll be the first Hot Wheels to advance into the next round. Next up, staged and ready, qualifying 4th overall from the Stone Ponies Diecast. This is Chris in his Matchbox Laser Wheel Firebird, taking on the 29th overall Ragin' Ricky from Oregon Diecast in his Hot Wheels Cobra. Firebird taking off like a shot, 2054 to 72. Can Hot Wheels stop the Matchbox onslaught? Matchbox again, 2051 getting into round number 2. Another one for the Stone Ponies Diecast. Next up, staged and ready. Matchbox wins this race automatically as we have 2 Laser Wheel Nissans. One from DXP Diecast, qualifying 20th overall, taking on the Stone Ponies Diecast, qualifying 13th overall in his Matchbox. DXP on the inside, Stone Ponies Racing on the outside. Let's go. Good race. 2056 to 62. DXP needs to pull off a 2056 or better. Close. Won't happen though. Stone Ponies moving on to round number 2. And it looks like we're going to have a Stone Pony showdown in the second round. Should be a good one. Next up, staged and ready in the far lane, qualifying 12th overall from 131 Diecast Racing. This is Clay, and it's his Hot Wheels NASCAR Kyle Petty taking on Northern Roads Racing, 21st overall qualifier in his Hot Wheels Suburban. Hot Wheels finally going to advance here. Kyle Petty, 206.1 is the time that Suburban will need to beat. His race, Kyle Petty, 205.6. Moving Clay to round number 2. All right, last race of the first round in this left side of the bracket. Qualifying 5th overall, it's Crexter Sr. in his Matchbox Corvette, taking on the Stick Dog Diecast in his Matchbox, 28th overall, Laser Wheel Escort. Cabriolet. Matchbox versus Matchbox, 205.5 to 7.3. Cabriolet needs a 205.5 or he is going on the trailer. Corvette advancing, 205.8. Crexter Sr. finding himself in round number 2. Next up, qualifying 2nd overall in his Hot Wheels 442, it's Flips Racing, taking on Ragin' Ricky from the Oregon Diecast in his Matchbox Audi Quattro, qualifying 31st overall. 442 with a 4.4. 2:04.4 is the time that Audi is going to need to beat. And the 4.42 with a 4.6, moving on to round number 2. Next two staged and ready, qualifying 15th overall, the Bavarian Bomber in his Hot Wheels Redline Sugar Caddy, taking on the 18th qualifier overall. It's Chris from the Stone Ponies Racing and his Hot Wheels Corvette. Hot Wheels once again going to advance into the next round. Wow, good race. 62 to 60, the Corvette out on top. Stone Ponies Racing coming on strong here in this first round, about to take out a Cadillac. Can that be? 2:06.0 is the time to beat. 2:05.2, oh no, by the caddy. Oh, he's moving on. Wow, what a race. 2:05.2 to 5.5, moving Bavarian to round number 2. All right, next up, staged and ready from the Chase Family Racing, qualifying 10th overall in his Matchbox Laser Wheel Firebird, taking on the 23rd qualifier overall in the Hot Wheels Solaire. This is Milestone Racing. Firebird taking care of business with a 2:05.0. Hot Wheels struggling in this event. Matchbox with a 2:05.0 is the time Hot Wheels will need to beat. And it's a 2:05.2. Taking the Chase Family Racing into the next round. Next up, staged and ready from DXP Diecast Racing, qualifying 26th overall in his Wind Splitter from Hot Wheels. Be taking on the number 7 qualifier overall from Bavarian Diecast in his Matchbox Ferrari. Ferrari out in front, 2:05.3 to 70. The Wind Splitter's going to have to catch some air here. 2:05.3. Time to beat. And Bavarian Diecast finding himself moving on to round number 2 with his second entry. All right, next two up in the blocks. Qualifying 3rd overall from the 131 Racing, Clay in his Haley's Comet Matchbox Starburst Wheels, taking on another Matchbox from the RC Addicts in his GTO. Haley taking off like a shot, 2:05.4 to 9.6. GTO needs to overcome a 2:05.4 to advance. Good race. 2:05.7 is going to take Haley to round number 2. Next two up in the blocks, a pair of Matchbox 928s, qualifying 19th overall for Northern Roads Racing. He is the number 5, taking on qualifying 14th overall in the Matchbox Porsche. His number 44, Milestone Diecast Racing. Milestone out in front, 2:05.4 to 5.8. Northern Roads in the laser. Last chance to move on. 2:06.0. Moving the Milestone Diecast Starburst Porsche onto round number 2. Next two staged and ready. Qualifying 22nd overall in his BMW Hot Wheels M1 is the Chase Family Racing, taking on From 131 Racing, it's Kyle in his 11th qualifying overall Hot Wheel Murata Stalker. Murata taking it 2062 to 70. 2062 is the time to beat. 2066 will not get it. Moves 131 Racing to round number 2. Last race of the official first round. We're going to have a gold Hot Ones showdown. Qualifying 6th overall in his Buick Mountain Dew Stalker, Craigster Sr. taking on the 442 from Zizzer Prime, qualifying 27th overall. Good race, 2052 to 72. At any given time, a gold Hot One can turn on the juice. 2052 is the time for that 442 to beat. But the Buick getting it done, 2054, moves Craigster Sr. to round number 2. So it is 10 to 6 in favor of Matchbox so far going into round number 2. We're going to take a break from the action, clean the track, while you enjoy a few words from Slandman Customs. All right, we're back. Make sure you check out slandmancustoms.com and get in line for a DTS2 timer and start gate. He's steadily improving these products. I can't complain. That is what we're rolling here. Getting into round number 2. The pace is about to pick up. This is Flip's Matchbox Dodge Daytona taking on Poverty Hollow's Matchbox Haley's Comet. Man, let's go. Race 2041 to 47. 2041 is what Poverty Hollow will need. Oh, wow. 2036. Flips Racing moving to round number 3. Next up in the block, staged and ready, Kyle from 131 Racing in his Matchbox Nissan or Datsun taking on Poverty Hollow's Hot Wheels Tri Baby. Hot Wheels versus Matchbox here. Hot Wheels taking this one 47 to 51. 2047 is the time Matchbox will need. Tri Baby 2045 getting faster, moving on to round number 2. Number 3. All right, here we go with the Stone Ponies Diecast Showdown. Dawson in the near inside lane and Chris in the outside lane. A pair of Matchbox laser wheels going at it. 2045 to 49. Chris is going to need to get a 2045 or better. He's loading up. 2049 moves Dawson to round number 3 from the Stone Ponies Diecast. Next up in the blocks, Craigster Sr. in his Matchbox Corvette taking on Clay from 131 Racing in his Hot Wheels Kyle Petty. Should be an excellent, excellent race. Matchbox coming out on top, 2050 to 52. Kyle needs to beat a 2050, the time to beat. Oh, my Lanta, 2051 will not get it done. Craigster Sr. moving on to the next round. Moving on over to the other side of the bracket, we got Flips Racing in his Hot Wheels 442 taking on the Bavarian Diecast Racing in his Hot Wheels Redline Sugar Caddy. Wow, 442 taking off, 2039 to 50. 2050, a good time, but 2039 going to be pretty hard to overcome here. 2042 to 50, and Flips Racing moving his 442 to round number 3. Next two up in the blocks, Bavarian Diecast Racing with his Matchbox 308 entry, taking on the Chase Family Racing's Matchbox entry. Matchbox going to move on again. And it's the 2046 this time by the Ferrari. 2046 is the time to beat. 2045 this time to 47. Great race. Bavarian Diecast getting himself on into round number 3. Next two up in the blocks, two more Matchbox. This time from Clay 131 Racing and his Matchbox Haley's Comet, taking on Milestone's Matchbox 928. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Haley drives around him on a big end. 2045 is the time that Porsche will need to beat. Good race. 2043 this time. Haley moving on to round number 3. What a good run. And for the last run of round 2, we got another Hot Wheels showdown. Craigster Sr. in his Buick taking on the Murata Stalker from Kyle at 131 Racing. Craigster Sr. with a 2048 to 52. 2048 is the time to beat. Craigster Sr. with a 49 to 52 this time, moving him on into the third round. And going on into the quarterfinals, we have 5 Matchbox and 3 Hot Wheels left. Who's going to emerge victorious in the Hot Wheels versus Matchbox 41 to 50 gram? Man, I don't know. Pretty good times. Let's get started into round number 3. A rematch. It's Flip and Poverty Hollow once again. Can Poverty Hollow overcome this fast Dodge Daytona in 3, 2, 1? Good race. 2037 to 44. 2037 is the time to beat. Dodge Daytona on a tear. 2036 getting him into the semis. And so it will be an all Matchbox left side of the bracket. Here we got Craigster Sr. in his Matchbox Corvette taking on the Stone Ponies Dawson in his Laser Wheel Firebird. Good race. 2052 is the time that Firebird needs to beat. Good race. 2047, I don't believe it. The Firebird just put out the Corvette. Oh my Lanta, can you even believe it? Moving on to the semifinal round. Oh my Lord, have mercy. What a wild race that was. Moving on in the bracket, Dawson from the Stone Ponies Diecast. Next up is going to be the Bavarian Diecast Racing with his second chance to take out Flip in his Hot Wheels 442. Does Flip defy the odds again? He does indeed with a 2042 to 44. Real close race. 2042 is the time to beat. 2043 to 49 this time. Flip moving on with his 442 to the semifinal round. Next two up in the blocks, we're going to have Craigster Sr. in his Buick Hot Wheels Mountain Dew Stalker taking on Clay 131 Racing's Matchbox Haley's Comet. Oh my Lanta, here we go. Good race, Haley 2048 to 54. Haley's Comet with a 2048 is the time the Regal needs to beat. Oh my Lanta, 2041, Haley going on to the semis. So on the left side, we have 2 Matchbox duking it out. And on the right side, we have a Hot Wheels versus Matchbox. Hot Wheels last stand. Let's see who is going to the final race. We got the Dodge Daytona, number 1 qualifier overall for Flips Racing, taking on the 13th qualifier overall, Dawson from the Stone Ponies Diecast and his Laser Wheel Firebird at Matchbox versus Matchbox. Who's going to the final race? Wow. 2036 to 52. 2036 is the time to beat. Closer race this time, 38 to 48. Flips Racing heading to the final race. Now the question is, can this Matchbox take out the final Hot Wheels from Flips Racing, or does 131 Racing go to the finals? Let's find out. Haley with a 4.6 to 4.8. Wow. 2:04.6 is the time to beat. Wow. 2:04.1 to 4.3. Moving Clay from 131 Racing to the final race. So Matchbox will definitely take the win overall in this edition of Hot Wheels versus Matchbox, the 41 to 50 weight class. And so it is the race for third place. We got Flips 442 taking on Dawson from the Stone Ponies Racing in his Firebird. Matchbox versus Hot Wheels. 442 out in front, 2:04.2 to 4.5. 2:04.2 is the time Matchbox will need to beat. Wow, 2:04.6 and Flip, securing his spot third on the podium. So as of right now, unofficially, this is going to be the fourth place winner. We're going to determine that right now by racing off the two left from this bracket and the two left from this bracket. We're going to determine fourth and fifth place. So it will be the winner from this race taking on the winner from this race. Take on Dawson from Stone Ponies Racing. Determine fourth and fifth place. It's on Redline Derby, so I figure I will do it this way to make it official. And so here we go. Poverty Hollow taking on Hot Nuts Diecast. Poverty Hollow out front, 2:04.5 to 5.0. 2:04.5, the time to beat. 2:04.9 will not get it done. 2:04.7, and it'll be Trickster Senior again from Hot Nuts Diecast taking on Bavarian Diecast Racing. Good race. 2:04.9 to 5.4. 2:04.9 is the time to beat. Ferrari going to pull it off with a 4.8. So the winner of this race will take on Dawson for the fourth place spot to decide fourth and fifth. So Poverty Hollow on the near lane and Bavarian Diecast on the outside. Great race. 45 to 46. Wow. 2:04.5 is the time to beat. Wow. And Bavarian Diecast. So Poverty Hollow, 8th overall, finishes 6th. All right, winner of this race will place 4th. The loser will place 5th overall. Matchbox versus Matchbox. Dawson. 47 to 57, Bavarian up. 2:04.7 is the time to beat. Good race. 43 to 50. 4th place going to Bavarian and 5th place going to Dawson from the Stone Ponies Racing. Which brings us to the final race of the evening. Well, morning to you. Dodge Daytona from Flips Diecast Racing. Flips Racing taking on 131 Racing Clays, Haley's Comet Firebird. Both Starburst, both Matchbox. Who's going to get down the lane first? Good race. Daytona with a 40 to 46. 2:04.0 is the time to beat. Race 2:03.6. And there you have it, folks. Flips Racing dominating with that Dodge Daytona coming in first place. Second overall is Clay from 131 Racing. Third overall is Flips Racing with his Hot Wheels 442. Fourth overall, Bavarian Diecast Racing with his Matchbox Ferrari 308. And from the Stone Ponies Racing, Dawson with his Matchbox Laser Wheel Firebird. Matchbox absolutely dominating this race. And oh man, I can only think of one more race I'd like to see. Don't you want to know, before this video ends, if that Daytona can take out Haley's Comet? we're going to give her a couple runs to warm up. It is my third fastest car that I have, aside those two heavyweights. This is my Haley's Comet Firebird, and Flip wants to see it. I want to see it. I think everybody watching this video wants to see it. So we're going to give a couple of runs for my Haley's Comet Firebird. 2038. And another run. 2034. Flip trying for the record here. And man, if you get it, you get it. 2040 to 45. 2040 is the time Haley needs to beat. Good race. Oh man, 35 to 36. Wow. That was outstanding. Let's see that again in real time. 39 to 44. 37 to 39. So congratulations to Flip. He didn't get the record, but he did get a chance to race Haley, and he beat her. Whatever you're doing over there, keep it up. Congratulations. That was a fantastic race. Again, I would like to thank everybody for participating in this race. Coming up next will be the qualifying round for the Modified Mobster Classic. All the modified entries that were put in, 37 altogether. We'll be taking a look at that, and then we'll race them off. And then, of course, you guys outdid yourselves this time in the gift car race. We got a whole bunch to work up and throw up into the bracket. So we'll be looking forward to that in the days to come. So from all of us over here at Elevation Diecast Racing, thank you once again for a great event. If your car isn't fast, well, at least it'll look good on the shelf. Have a great Saturday. See ya.